All right, we are going to do some Canva magic erasing and magic grabbing. So how to remove the head from the body of an image or character, right? Sometimes you have Mickey Mouse with the body and sometimes just the head. So I'm also liking this Spring 2026 #2 text effect from Text Studio with a lot of clarity and sharpness. But I have to redo it every time. Oh well, life could be worse. Okay, so this is kind of like the syllabus week, where last week I kind of introduced myself, and this week I get to introduce what we're covering in this class. And then we'll get into how to remove the head from the body of a character. All right, so YouTube just added these things called courses. So here's courses, right? So I just created a course with Spring 2026 #1 and asked all my students to leave a comment. And now I'm going to tell you what I did the previous semester with a playlist. View full playlist. Okay, so this semester we started out with a little ChatGPT Pixar effect, removing the background, creating your first Canva document. But you really don't get into the tedious aligning, distributing, layers, positioning. So week 2 or week 3 is going to be an emoji pictograph. So you can learn how to kind of work with layers, transparency, and get a feel for the Canva interface. Then we're going to take a radial starburst and think about color. All right, so you really, like we've done some color matching already, we want to color match that radial starburst. I think color is one of the most fundamental important things for graphics. And so being able to kind of reinforce the color and then also add that to a custom app, Canva app frame effect, where we take our favorite Lobo image and then make it into a frame with a transparent center. Kind of a cool effect. Let's see, I did that one twice and then this week, like I said, we're taking a character and separating the head or using some of the Canva AI magic eraser and remove background. ChatGPT was really fun to kind of stylize these images in different manners, or match styles. Image style transfer for product mockups. So maybe you want like a patch looking Lobo or a pencil sketched Lobo. And then you can put that image on a hat or a soda can. So these are different product mockups we'll take a look at. But really what we're building up towards is just being able to customize a flyer, some kind of promotional material in Canva. So there's some cool animation effects, but also just being able to kind of apply the basics of color, transparency, working with graphics to be able to customize a flyer. So first half on Canva, then we switch gears to Adobe. So before Nano Banana and ChatGPT had image editing capabilities, Adobe Firefly was pretty good. And they're still innovating with video and boards and other effects. So we're going to switch to Adobe. Start with Firefly. Whoops. Adobe Firefly boards. Yep, there's me. So Firefly can create cool textures on text. So here's some cotton candy text. And then there's an emoji made into like a metallic looking sphere emoji. With Adobe Express, you can do more in terms of selection and inverting selections. So we're going to take our favorite Lobo logo, invert the selection, and remove the center and replace the transparent pixels with a pattern and add some shading. So the pop out effect or the crop cutout effect is really common. And so you can combine multiple layers and remove background and some erasing to do this cropped cutout effect, which is pretty popular. And this semester, Nano Banana dropped. And I thought it was pretty cool, the text effects that you can do with Nano Banana, how you can take a text effects or text effects, the right word, from the web, right, 2 words, from the web, and then use Nano Banana to put your text into that text effect. So pretty cool text effect technique. Adobe Express has some built-in text effects with AI that you can have your text be live and editable. And then Adobe Express also has add-ons where you can do these same kind of 3D text effects that you're seeing from Text Studio and Canva. And again, last but not least, we're just working up to kind of understand the fundamentals of Adobe Express, get comfortable with it, and then be able to use blend modes and other cool effects to add texture, smoke, red ink, light effects to a flyer. All right, so that's the plan of attack. So let's get back to getting the head of a character isolated. All right, so let's see. So you could go back to ChatGPT if you lost your if you lost your Pixar style prompt, I think this one, right? So back in time. Come on, ChatGPT, have my yeah, this is it. There we go. Right. So you could go back and download it by coming back here to the Chats drop-down menu. So get that image. You probably have it too in Canva because Canva auto-saves. Recent has a recent. If you go to Home, Recent, you can see your recent documents. And so I am going to start. I'm just going to go back and grab my image from here, Command-C. I'm going to go to Canva Home and create a new blank image with a purple plus button, custom size, 1920 by 1080 if you followed me last week. So I'm just going to do 1920 by 1080, click on it. And I think we're ready to go. Let me do Command-V to paste in. I might still have that border, that white border around the edge. But I'm going to duplicate this, right? So in case I mess it up, I'm going to do 2 add pages. And then I'm going to do Command-V, scroll down, scroll up, Command-V. All right, so there's 2 ways to remove the head with just basic erasing. If you go to Edit and Magic Eraser, kind of nice. You finally get some transparent pixels checkerboard in Canva. So I'm going to zoom way in. The hard part is the neck, right between the chin and the neck. And there's kind of a solid line, but it goes in a shadow. It gets a little blurry. So this is just brushing. I'm not going to even try to auto detect. I'm going to come to the middle, like the bottom of the chin, and click. Then go to the upper left intersection of the chin and the neck. And then the upper left again. All right, so now with these 3 dots, I can kind of go slow. It's hard to talk and trackpad drag and follow the edge along the bottom here. But the trick is just zooming in, going slow. The more you zoom in and the slower you go. And, if you have a real mouse or a trackpad, that's not what I wanted to say, a graphics tablet, it makes it easier. So, all right, so I got it, erase. It's going to look good when I zoom out, right? I was zoomed pretty far in there. And then I can crank up my brush. You could try messing with the auto detect, but you're probably just, unless there's like a clearly defined edge between, or luminance transition between the neck and the chin, you're going to run into trouble. And so your image is going to be different than mine, but try to get your head separated from the body. And zoom way in, go slow, and then X out or go back and see. So it looks good from pretty far, but every photographer likes to zoom way in and kind of see how it looked. So I got a little golf ball divot like that you can tell because my brush was circular. There's a little semicircle. But besides that, I could go back and redo it again. But it's pretty good. So I'm going to go on to the next page and do the other technique of magic grab. So this is kind of nice if you're on an iPhone or a small screen. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to magic grab. So select the new image, get the bounding box around it. Now go to Edit and Magic Grab. It did some magic analyzing, but did not find, looks like it kind of detected some parts separate from the tassel. So I'm going to brush in what I want, right? This is like, imagine your big finger on a small iPhone. You can kind of do this. And it's kind of nice and does a decent job. So sometimes if your neck area is like jagged or furry, I'm going to go a little bit outside, but not too far. I should probably zoom in and let's see how it does on that chin neck edge or luminance transition. Oh, so it got a little too much neck. So my opinion here, if I move this down, see how there's a little bit extra neck. So, I could try it again, or I could go back and just erase it with the brush. But this is just a demo, so hopefully you get some good results. Maybe try zooming in and being a little more careful than I was. But let me get I want to kind of end up with this, where I get the graphic with some text on a background, and then I do and then I export it. So all right, so get the head and Command C. I guess I'm already in a YouTube sized document, so I could just stay here. I don't need to create a whole new document. I can go to Elements. I got my recently used, or I could type in gray radial gradient in Elements, and I can deselect so I don't bring it in on the head, but I'm going to try to have it do that snap. Good. And then Command Option left bracket. All right, and then I'm going to go back to the apps on the left and arrow all the way to the right for text effects or text styling, and get my text studio, which should have it doesn't save all your settings, but I already typed number 2 for spring 2026. And then I'm going to select a college font and do that duotone adjustment on the Sonoma State logo. All right, so I got some nice 3D text. I could try to make it a little bigger so it's easier to see. This image already has that white outline, so let's see if they match after I do this. All right, so I went to the Sonoma State logo, and I'm not gonna, maybe it would help if no. I'm just gonna get the colors, so it might be compressed. It might not be the 800 by 677 when I drag it from that little light box or that pop-up. Okay, so back into all my Untitled Blend documents. I'm going to drag this down. There it is. And then select Spring 2026. So maybe you can just recolor it from some colors you have here. Yeah, Lobo's not loaded in the photo colors yet. So I'm going to do the duotone adjustment, where I select, get rid of this interface, go to Edit, Effect, Duotone, Spring, and then the highlights I want to be the dark blue, eyedropper, get Lobo's dark blue, and the shadows, just upper left white is fine. And good starting point. So then I went out of the duotone adjustment, back up to the adjust, and I had the best with just this sharpness and clarity. I think really brings that mid-tone contrast. And then if you really want, you can go in and kind of edit some of these other settings as far as tonal adjustments for some of these, but this is fine for me, right? So let's add that, let's add the shadows effect for outline, and change our color to white upper left and the size to 41. And it's still not quite as big. I don't know, I could try to, maybe I need to, it's good enough though, right? You get the idea of what I'm trying to do. So get them so they're nice and big and easy to see at a small YouTube thumbnail. And then share it. I'm on page 2 for download, and PNG is fine. JPEG would be smaller file size, and transparency doesn't matter. Select pages. I want the current page 2, and done, and download. and drag it to the desktop, double click to check it out, and I will see you in the next assignment.